there's this viral video that's making the rounds about in Lagos, one of the scenarios in Lagos, by the way. So this particular one, I'm sure many might have seen that. Well, in case...
nípa máa gbà púfà fún sólà ibi tẹ́ bá ti wá ẹjọ́ ń bọ̀ lọ́fíìsì yín.
Agents of Lagos State government who just approached them trying to get clarification concerning solar. So yes, the Lagos State government responded to that now viral solar installation incident, which is raising more questions than it answers. And frankly, it exposes a deeper policy confusion that risks stifling innovation at a time Nigeria can least afford it. Let's be clear. Yes, governments have a duty to regulate structural changes in shared housing because they say that is a shared housing scheme. It's not for all residents or private residents in Lagos, only for those in those areas. That's not in dispute, but what we're seeing here is something else entirely. An approach that appears heavy-handed, poorly communicated, and dangerously out of step with not even global realities, our present realities in this country. This is not just about permits. It's about getting power supply. It's about power, literally and figuratively, I might add. In a country where we're battling chronic electricity shortages, where citizens are forced to find alternatives just to survive, the idea that officials will confront residents over installing solar panels, it sends the wrong signal. It may be well intended. It suggests that the system is more interested in control than in enabling solutions. And the Lagos State government's defense, they say this applies only to social housing residents. But that argument opens up an even bigger loophole. If the policy is so clear, why did it take a viral video for the clarification to emerge? Where is the transparency? Where is the public-facing guideline that clearly spells out what residents can and cannot do? Because regulation without visibility quickly becomes harassment. Now compare this with what obtains internationally. Say, okay, UK, close. Many go there every now and then. For example, most residential solar installations there fall under what they call permitted development. And that means homeowners, even tenants, in many cases can install solar panels without needing complex approvals, as long as basic safety and structural standards are met. A system is designed to encourage adoption, not frustrate it. Across Europe, for instance, governments are not just allowing solar, they are subsidizing it, fast-tracking approvals, and in some cases, mandating it for new buildings. Why? Because energy independence is now a national priority. But here, we're still debating whether a man needs bureaucratic clearance to escape darkness, but we know how some of these things go. Even if they tell you, oh, this is supposed to go for everybody's common good. We've been here before. Even if Lagos is right on the technicality of structural alteration, the execution is deeply flawed. First, there's no evidence of a streamlined digital approval system. If residents must navigate layers of ministry approvals just to install solar, then the process itself becomes a deterrent. Second, the issue of fees. What exactly are residents even paying for? Is this safety, inspection, structural assessment, or simply another administrative bottleneck? Third, enforcement optics matter. Sending officials to confront residents without prior engagement or education only fuels distrust. If I could say this for a minute, even if they wanted to enforce some of these things, I mean, in some other areas, they have homeowners association, you have offices that are regulating all of this. It's right there in that vicinity. If they see anything going on wrong, they could just point out to you, this. But even if Lagos really wants to position itself as a forward-thinking megacity, then its policies must reflect that ambition. Here's what we think should happen next. Clear, publicly accessible guidelines must be published simple, direct, and impossible to misinterpret. Approvals, where necessary, should be digitized and time-bound. No Nigerian should wait weeks to install basic energy infrastructure. If they exist, talking about the fees now, it should be transparent, minimal, and tied to strictly to safety inspections, not revenue generation. As we see with most agencies in this country, it's always for revenue generation. And most importantly, let me just anchor on this point. Solar adoption should be actively encouraged, not policed. Incentives, not intimidation, should define the government's approach to this. That's what I think.
You know, Chairman, I'm even afraid that showing this video, you know, while we're trying to highlight what the Lagos State government has done wrong, even though it's come out with a statement to say this is a structural alteration and so he should get a permit. I'm just hoping that it's not giving other states ideas. And I hope that they're not copying the wrong things. Because, I mean, let us be very honest. Nigerians have been tried and tested. We have shown our resilience in many different ways. And I believe that when we find solutions to problems that governments over the years have failed to resolve, I think that we need to be praised. We need to be encouraged. As you rightly highlighted, you know, fees for solar panels should be subsidized. And we don't know that that is something that I think even the federal government has been looking to do. I mean, we know that right now EVs, for instance, electric vehicles, there are no import duties for things like that. So why should the state government now say that you need to pay because you live in a social housing system, you know, for you to be able to put up solar panels, as has been highlighted? Was it communicated before now? Or what exactly is the path that are all the residents in that estate aware that they must put up, you know, they must pay fees, or that this is a structural adjustment according to the rules guiding social housing? Enough said on this. I just hope that Lagos, not just Lagos State, but other state governments do not copy the wrong thing. So do not get ideas. This is not the way to go. You cannot build houses and now tell people that for them to get, you know, sustainable power, they will have to pay you to put up power that you are not providing. That cannot be the way to go. Certainly not.
Yeah, so we're hoping that at least some of these things will be corrected as fast as possible.